Today's class will be on cracked tooth syndrome. So, what are the clinical features? Whenever there is a cracked tooth, okay, mostly it will be in the mandibular molars when compared to the maxillary molars. In mandibular molars also it will be mostly in the first mandibular molar rather than second mandibular molar. It's the incident rate I'm saying. So coming to the clinical features, okay, you will obviously feel the pain. The pain may be either sustained or it may be a momentary sharp localized, poorly localized pain. You cannot say where the pain is originating, okay. So you have to undergo certain diagnostic criteria to find out whether the tooth is cracked tooth or not, okay. So whenever you are giving a biting pressure, especially when you are releasing the biting pressure, you will have a pain, okay. And also due to thermal changes or due to the exposure to the sweet and acidic foods, you may have sensitivity. These are the clinical features, the pain and sensitivity due to biting release force and also certain food materials. And coming to the radiographical features, it is not so useful because when the crack is extending mesiodistally, it's very difficult to demonstrate in the radiograph. And coming to the diagnosis, with the trans-elimination, you can find out the cracked tooth syndrome, or with the tooth slot or the cotton tipped applicator, you can find out. And with the stain which is seen in the tooth following the crack, you can diagnose. And also coming to the treatment plan, you have to see whether the tooth is healthy pulp or it is having a reversible pulpitis or irreversible pulpitis. Based on that, the treatment differs. When it is a healthy or reversible pulpitis, if the crack is there, then you have to do a splint with an orthodontic band, or you can prepare the tooth and give a temporary crown and wait for the asymptomatic zone of period, and then you can go ahead and do a permanent crown. If it is a reversible pulpitis, obviously you are going to do an endodontic procedure. While doing endodontic procedure, as we always do not remove more of tooth structure in a cracked tooth syndrome cases, and also you give a less condensation force when you are obturating. And also after the endodontic procedure, the restoration will be based on the tooth structure, whether it is sufficient or insufficient, it matters. So if there is sufficient tooth structure, then you can go ahead and do a GIC or dentin bond core, but no post is needed. The material can be extended 2 to 3 mm into the orifice to strengthen the structure. And if there is an insufficient tooth structure, you have to passively place the post and core with the permanent crown. And if needed, you may need a crown extrusion, or you may need a crown lengthening procedure also. So how is the prognosis for these cracked tooth syndrome is that it may have a guarded prognosis when you have an isolated probing area, which based on the extent of probing, you will have a guarded prognosis, and also how much of extent of crack to the pulp chamber floor, that is also important for the prognosis. The poor prognosis will be there when you can trace the crack mesiodistally all the way from mesiodistal direction. If it is all the way, then the prognosis is bad. So this is the overall view of cracked tooth syndrome. Thank you.